Ooh, Taurus, are you ready to dig into the middle and see what secrets are coming up for you? I am. Now, it's interesting because your word when I meditated for you was wean. And I'm like, wean? What is Taurus being weaned off of? And they're talking about being weaned off of jumping to conclusions. And I will tell you why. It might not seem all that exciting, but this is the thrust of where we're coming from when we jump into your secrets. It's talking about meditate and contemplate the new moon in Pisces. The new moon, the new horizon. And what new horizon? Well, the backup car that's on the bottom of the deck says luck is on your side. Good things are coming in, and this is the season of Sagittarius, so that's what we're about to move into. Now, I don't know how it's been for a Taurus sun going through the Taurus North Node and the Scorpio South Node that we've been in, but maybe that's had you have a little bit of side eye, a little bit of caution going on. Maybe let's see who else. Maybe some of you have some strong Cancer placements because they're talking about things seeming deadly or dangerous, and you're like, keeping your guard up, keeping your eye out, and that's keeping you from your future. So that's what they're wanting to do first and foremost, is get our mind in that state of, hey, let's take a new look, a new perspective of what's about to come in here. So maybe the secret that's whispered is something you haven't heard of before or thought of before. Maybe you've been in a long cycle of things being difficult and hard. Maybe the last 17 years, maybe the last 9 years. And you're like, what's this all about? Well, we're about to find out. So I'm going to cut and mix, and then I'm going to go into the middle, and we're going to see what is hidden in plain sight, right up in your grill, right up in your face, maybe right up in your front yard. Ooh, talk about right up in your front yard. You're like, girl, I told you, now you know why I was having the side eye. But you're about to have a bunch of bliss. A lot of bliss coming on in. No longer having to be guarded and keeping your roots up high for the tide to go in and out. This is no longer that shift in sand going on. Taurus is like, thank God, because all that shifting my bull around was too much. Too much what? Too much Four of Cups, too much disappointment, too much spinning wheel, got to keep on spinning round. And that's that Scorpio spiders also. Things that have kept you threadbare, for one, meaning wearing you thin, wearing you out mentally, physically, spiritually, whatever. But I see all that clearing away. We've had a lot of Neptunian energy, which makes sense. Okay, that Pisces. So where things didn't make sense and it kind of kept happening that way, you just had to adjust. Like you even have your stilettos on. You're like, that's the only way to keep it from rising on into me so that I don't get swept away and lost with this whole conundrum going on. What's interesting in the secret that you're giving me a bit of the background. But what I see on these other cards, okay. Some of you might want to check out Aries or Aquarius. We are the whole zodiac because you're not just a piece of the pie. You're the whole pie. That's why you're not more than enough or not enough. You are plenty. You are exactly as much as you desire to take in. And that lets me know there's a lot of desire here. Look at this. I'm having to go into the outskirts to find out about you, Taurus, because what has been all up in your grill and in your center and in your face has been these waters, these clouds, these fogs, these like faulty promises, these things not turning out as they seemed, and things falling through. And you just learned that maybe even your spiritual relationship with spirit or yourself began to grow and develop, because that's you finding the temperance and the peace in the midst of it. And that is what is bringing in this luck on your side. They're saying you have developed more than you know. Give yourself some credit. And life's ready to bring this shift on in as Jupiter is on the rise, bumping Neptune out of Pisces. That's a lot of like talk. But the point is, it's going to be good. It's going to be good. Now, in this case, what is interesting here, you're going to get a double portion. Life is handing it out. And in this case, like Aries and Aquarius, they're the ones being brought in to give the charity, to give, because charity is love without strings attached. It's not what we think, helpless, needy, that type of thing. It could be the war-torn, the worn thin, that type of thing. And especially after the last several years of what has gone on, it might be some getting back a good amount of taxes. It could be certain laws turning in your favor. Maybe if there was a dispute with a neighbor. Do you see what I mean? It's those type of things. That's the help that's coming on in here. And it's a double portion coming and going on all sides. Well, so with that, Lord of Swords and Spirit of Swords, your mind, clear your mind. Clear your mind. There's still even more swords. Lady Swords, Ace of Swords. And your mind, and Mayat, and the Ten of Cups. You got a lot of mind to clear, and that's let me know there might be some minefields going on, maybe some dynamics in relationships that have been difficult, maybe even how you grew up with your parents. There could have been conflict in that home, and you always felt caught in the middle, and that's why you had that guard. That's why it was like this. Everything was bopping up in your fourth house, or let's see, Sagittarius. I could see why the Cancer would be resonating about deadly, dangerous, because Cancer is the fourth house. Parental, marital, that immediate family type of thing. And that has left you in these altered states. It's like marked by the shadows. Okay, doubt. Shadow of doubt, even though it's a level 3 shadow, like shadow of death, you would think is more doom, more impending, and maybe that's what's coming in with Cancerian energy. But in this case, the shadow of doubt is the thing it can do away with all your dreams. It undermines everything. Do you see that? You see that? Like things, the rug being pulled out from under you, the reaching out and getting almost there, and then having it taken away by trauma, drama, disagreements, that type of thing. Yeah. And this is here just to remind you that you have it all. You are it all. You are the prize. And you'll begin to have the surprise when you start to let this dissipate. That they're talking about clearing the back of your mind's eye, because I can very much see what is going on here is your retina has been impacted, your unconsciousness. So unconsciously, the doubts come in and the things are already manifested because they're already manufactured. It's like there's a backlog of images on your mind, and I see why, because it's the swords, the swords, the swords. Look at these 3 images, these 3 heads here, all these authorities competing, and you're like, where is my power, permission, authority? Well, Mayat follows up with that with the 10 of Cups. A whole new world is being birthed for you, one that is just and balanced and yours. And it's when you get these worries and these cares off of you, they may keep showing up, but just breathe them out. Maybe journal them out. Maybe draw them out. Maybe go on a vacation, friend. That's what could be up in your secrets. How do you feel about some vacation? You're like, can I vacate my life? It's like, you can turn your back on it. Best way to vacate it is say, bye. I remember there was a time when, so lots of psychic energy comes in around me. Words, phrases, knowings in people's life, that type of stuff. And especially when I sleep. And it's other people's worlds, not mine. And I have friends tell me, they're like, put a do not disturb sign over your bed. And so I did. And it stopped. And so much so, not in my daily living, but in my nighttime living, that eventually I had to put it back up, because I was like, how do I stay in tune with who I really am? You know what I mean? So that's a bit of this. Turn your back on this, on the chaos, on the being put in the middle, the being worn thin, bedraggled, always having to adjust and adapt to where it impacts your bottom line. It impacts your bottom line. When you were this cosmic, passionate, fiery angel who's ready to take action. That's the flames coming off here. It's like the sparkler, writing your name with the sparkler in the sky. And how you feel is serendipity. Ba-boom. On receiving that charity. Because remember, it's coming in as a balance for everything that you've been through. It's a form of restoration. Be open, be receptive, and simply say thank you. There's not more that you have to give or feel obligated or connected to. You don't have to go chasing after everything. Okay, just allow yourself to appreciate what comes to you and say thank you. Not like you don't know how to do that. I'm just letting you know that not more is not required. There is no condition or obligation, because charity is a love that comes without strings attached. It goes home with you because it's yours. And that's what's waking up at this gentle gardener, because the gift is actually coming from a greater source. one from up above. Okay, that's what they were doing here, is they've been trying to create this new opening for you to do away with like the shadow of doubt, the fog, the mental clarity issues, the static, the smelting. Who has been burned like that? Bless you, love. Well, that's not the unfinished symphony that's coming on in here. This really tends to match up with this energy. So look at those. See it weaving and coming along and being restored. Remember how that egg, it's coming in as yours and marked for you. It's got justice and provision going on there. It has clarity of vision and the passion to bring it all the way through to fulfillment. That's it restarting. So it's just like for a moment, powering off. Like, is it when you update your phone that has to be powered off and plugged in? That's what they're talking about. And it's going to upload and it's going to reboot where you left off as a small child. And they'll take you into the unknown. I'm telling you, don't be afraid, because it's funny. You're showing this like a big old fire and like you're in a kettle and it's cooking up under you. And you're like, I don't know if this is safe, or there's something coming to eat me for dinner, because you've been consumed so many times like by that smelting. But now life is bringing in and the earth is rising to meet you. And it's going to fill in all this gap. No more of these hopes deferred. Is going to be like the grant coming through for you to go to school, or the loan coming through for you to get the much needed car at a healthy interest rate, right? One that's beneficial for you. It could be people that have an unused property and they're like, well, we'll just charge you $100 rent, or you just pay all the utilities and you can live there for a few months because we're going traveling. It's things like that that are coming in here. Be open. Be receptive. I see why Jupiter was saying, hey, luck is on your side. And that really means favor. That these things are going to come along. And that's why they keep reminding you to say thank you, because you're going to be like, where is this coming from? What is going on? And you're going to feel this overwhelming sense of gratitude because of all that you've endured. And wherever and all it's coming from, they're like, it's no skin off my nose. It's no big deal. And they're thankful it's a big deal for you. Life is ready to lavish this love on you. And I'm excited for you, Taurus. So, hey, I hope this really helped. You could like, share, and subscribe. Also, you can leave your comments and compliments down below. Help us rise to the top, won't you? And know I love you.